Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you and welcome for being here today. In just a minute or so, we're going to begin. I see many people or a few people are coming on now. So let's just give it a minute and we should be on our way. Okay, at this time, we're going to proceed with our monthly call. Again, I want to thank everyone for taking time to join us as we have maintained this monthly calls. It's an opportunity for us to hold ourselves accountable to our community stakeholders and really be as transparent with the work that we do here at the International Institute and keep everybody updated with everything that we're doing, from arrivals to ongoing activities that provide service to immigrants and refugees, but in a larger context, supporting the entire community. So we're always particularly grateful that you take time once a month for this hour to just have a conversation with us, with everything that's going on here. We're going to cover a little bit. The agenda for today would have, we'll cover a little bit of where we are with arrivals for March and April, past arrivals in March and projections for arrival in April. We'll talk a little bit about monitoring that just took place here at the International Institute and share where we are with this ongoing conversation around private sponsorship or welcome core as it's listed on the agenda. We'll also just update you all on the upcoming launch of the Multicultural Center, the Anna E. Crossley Multicultural Center of Excellence. The Festival of Nations, we have just introduced new branding of that, and so we're going to share that with you today, and then we're going to talk about some ongoing or upcoming events as well as community shout-outs as we've done, and then we'll open up for question and answers. So at this time, I'm going to turn this over to our Vice President here at the International Institute for Client Services, and Ariel Burgess. I want to make sure Ariel is here. Okay, yes, Ariel is here.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I guess go to the next slide. Yep, there we go. So we finished out March, obviously, since we're in April, and we had 21 cases with 67 individuals arrive in March. One of the things that I've always prided myself on in resettlement is the diversity of resettlement in St. Louis. So you will see that while we had mostly Afghans, they were our largest population in March, we do have individuals from the Democratic Republic of Congo and Iraq, and Colombia. We last resettled individuals from Latin America about a year ago. They were Guatemalan. So it's nice to see a relatively new population being resettled into St. Louis. For April, April's a very busy month, just like March was. So far, we have 11 cases of 45 individuals that are expected to arrive through the rest of this week. 5 cases or 7 individuals have transferred out. Immediately as soon as they arrived in St. Louis, they went to Indiana. We coordinated the transfer with their US tie, so everything went very smoothly with that. After this week, we have 6 individuals that are scheduled to arrive. And we're starting to see the what we call the Albanian Afghans arrive. In April, we have 2 cases or 5 individuals, Afghans, who are coming to St. Louis from Albania. And after next week, we most probably will not have any more arrivals in April, as we're starting to now book for May. And we only have a few arrivals in May so far. Things can change. In resettlement, housing continues to be a need. We have an arrival coming tomorrow, I believe it is, of 8 family members, and we have no housing for them right now. Obviously, anytime we have large families, and by large, I'm talking about any families of 4 or more that would require a 3, 4, or 5 bedroom housing unit, we struggle to find housing for them. We do try to place refugees in or near South City because that is close to the Institute, close to transportation. It's also close to the schools for minor children. Please, if you have any connection to housing in the city area or even outside of the city, we would consider it. Please contact Abdul Nouri, who's our housing coordinator, and you'll see his direct phone number, 314-773-2279, and his mobile phone number. He would be very happy to talk to you, especially if you have any leads or you know of any 3, 4, or 5 bedroom apartments in the city. In March, we also had several walk-ins, and walk-ins are categorized according to their status. So in March, we had 8 cases or 12 individual Afghan parolees. So they came to St. Louis after having been in another state. They came to St. Louis seeking services. We also had 2 Afghan cases or 12 people in-migrate from Joplin and New Jersey as Afghan parolees, 16 Ukrainian cases or 26 individuals, 2 Cuban cases and 4 individuals, 4 Haitian cases, compromising 8 individuals. We also had 1 Afghan individual diversity visa. This is frequently called the lottery. But we had 1 diversity visa holder who's Afghan come to the Institute in March and going through intake for services. And, you know, it's not all about people that we settle. We had a Vietnamese and a Guatemalan individual reach out to the Institute for intake and assessment. So we have a lot of activity going on, both with what we call regular refugee resettlement, and then those individuals who are moving to St. Louis and contacting the Institute for services. In March, we also, both St. Louis and our Springfield office had a a USCRI Resettlement Monitoring visit. They were here the last week of March. Pretty much everything went very well. The preliminary feedback was positive. In St. Louis, at least, the monitors were very impressed that we were able to get clients enrolled into SNAP benefits and TANF benefits, usually within 2 weeks. They were really impressed that new arrivals are getting their refugee health screening, and in some cases, their initial PCP visit within a month. They said that in other sites, it's usually not that fast of a turnaround. And they were really very happy that most of they did 4 home visits during the monitoring. So they went to the individuals' homes and they talked to them and asked them questions. And they were really impressed that the clients knew about the benefit process, what it means, how to apply, what it takes to get benefits, and how to use them and maintain those benefits. They were also very impressed that the home visit clients knew about their per capita money and where it was being spent. Many of the clients were able to say, well, they paid 3 months rent and a utility bill, and also all the furnishings in my home. So that was really very good. They said that our housing was overall good. There were some issues, but they said that there are very typical issues for city living. But overall, they thought that our housing was, quote, good. We're looking forward to the official report, which will hopefully be sometime in April. And then we'll respond to whatever issues they bring up in that official report. It's a busy time at the Institute with a lot of reporting and monitoring going on. So we're all staying very, very busy. Any questions? Great, thank you.
You're muted, RA.
Thank you very much, Ariel, for that presentation. I realize now that I was talking to myself. At this point, I know you asked whether there were any questions. I don't see any questions, but if anyone has any questions, obviously at the end of the presentations here, we're going to create room for questions. We're also going to be monitoring the chat to see the chat there to see whether there are going to be any questions. At this point, I'm going to turn this over to Blake, the Senior Vice President at the International Institute for Talent Development and Advocacy, to talk about private sponsorship and Welcome Corps. Blake, please.
Thank you, Ray. For those that have remained faithful in attending these calls, some of this will be a rehashing of this program, but we want to make sure to talk about a few updates as well as some activities that we've engaged in locally since we last spoke. So first, just to recap the Welcome Corps program. Welcome Corps was launched in January to expand the number of refugees that can be resettled in the region by allowing for private sponsorship through private sponsor groups. The aim is to have about 5,000 refugees resettled nationally through this private sponsorship model by the end of the calendar year. Private sponsor groups who engage in sponsorship are groups of 5 individuals or more who provide basically all the services of resettlement, and we'll go over what those are in a second. The private sponsor groups must raise a minimum of $2,375 in cash and in-kind contributions per refugee that they are sponsoring, and that number has actually gone up $100 since we last met. The groups that form will be able to get technical assistance from a national network of providers that are part of the Welcome Corps program, but they've also, since the advent of the program in January, have designed a way for organizations to participate in this by supporting private sponsor groups, calling them private sponsor organizations. And so in the next slide, We'll talk a little bit more about private sponsor group responsibilities. These are the array of services that must be provided within the first 90 days by private sponsor groups. And again, these mirror what we provide new arrivals through resettlement. So it's good to see that the folks that are arriving are going to still have the same standard for care, whether it's through private sponsorship or through a resettlement agency. We're happy to hear that. In the next slide, a bit more about private sponsor organizations. Private sponsor organizations must commit to supporting at least 50 private sponsor groups per year. The private sponsor organizations recruit private sponsor groups, provide application assistance for them, and pre-arrival training ahead of the arrival of that refugee, but also after the refugee arrives, to provide mentoring and assistance, but also monitoring. As Ariel mentioned, we're all engaged in our federal reporting right now. We're now 6 months through the federal year and have all our reporting to do, and functionally, private sponsor groups will have their own reporting to do. Part of the role of the private sponsor organization is to assist with the aggregation and submission of that data for the private sponsor groups that it will oversee. And it'll be reviewing 20 and 90-day reports that must be generated by private sponsor groups. And of course, intervening on issues of concern between the refugees and the private sponsor groups that are supporting them, and mediating those and providing assistance where needed. And so Welcome Corps is one method of private sponsorship, and I think Ray pointed out that there are really two pathways here for private sponsors. One is through Welcome Corps, and the other is through the Parole program. And newly available to the Parole program is the sponsorship of Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan nationals. And this is a system that's a lot like Uniting for Ukraine, the U4U program, where individuals can sponsor folks to arrive under parole. The sponsors in the United States must be a citizen or lawful permanent resident, or really otherwise have legal status in the country. Of course, not international students or people here on visitor visas, of course, but on an immigration pathway. Up to 30,000 individuals will be admitted on a monthly basis from these countries through this program. And part of the strategy here is to alleviate pressure on the southern border and give people an option for entering legally into the United States that doesn't require them to present at the border to claim asylum, rather creating an expansion of parole, which would also have the added benefit of guaranteeing familial supports and other supports in the United States once they do arrive. Once approved, the beneficiary, the person from the country, will receive 2 years of temporary humanitarian parole into the U.S., much like Afghans and Ukrainians have received as well. This is going to be occurring not instead of Uniting for Ukraine, but in addition to United for Ukraine. And so if you're at all familiar with the Uniting for Ukraine model, it is basically the same idea here. There's not a financial amount that must be raised by a sponsor. There's merely the display of adequate income to support the number of arrivals whom you seek to sponsor as a financial caveat. So previously we talked about the vision that we have as an organization of creating a community that supports private sponsorship in either of its forms that we presented here today. So I want to provide an update on the progress that we have towards that vision. The International Institute has applied to become a private sponsor organization through Welcome Corps. And I say has applied, although the application will be submitted pending just a couple of pieces of information. It'll be submitted tomorrow. So once we have this application approved, it really is going to be able to allow us to launch our full-scale engagement of discussions and outreach and promotion around these two opportunities, and really allow us to go full bore into the promotion with our partners that we've been convening with. And we have been convening with many community stakeholders in group meetings, individual meetings, to discuss both of these programs and opportunities for organizations and individuals to collaborate with this. We, in addition to applying to be a private sponsor organization, we've also applied for funding to support private sponsors regardless of the program. So really the funding pot that we've applied for is going to allow us to provide these same sort of pre-training application assistance, not just to welcome Corps participants, but also those that are seeking to sponsor Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, or Ukrainians. And we're very excited about that, because that would ensure then that our service delivery to the sponsors would not be dependent on the country of origin of the individual that they're sponsoring. Would really be able to support any sponsor who wants to engage in this process. We are also pursuing additional funding to reimburse private sponsors and expand supports for sponsored parolees. This would mean creating an incentive for folks to engage in the training that we'd be able to offer, and engage in the supports that we would be able to provide after arrival as well, by creating sort of a incentive for participation in the form of reimbursement of that $2,375 upon completion of our monitoring program. We also want to make sure that we're able to offer the same programmatic supports that newly arrived refugees have. At present, while there are federal programs that are supporting Ukrainians through the United for Ukraine program, there is not case management support available. We would love to be able to offer that. Likewise, for the Cuban, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, there's not case management support available, nor though are there any other additional federal supports pending a few exemptions. But if you're interested in learning more about these programs, I put a link in here that we'll be sharing, of course, this presentation out once we're finished today. And I encourage you to click on that to access a few links to learn more. If you're interested in staying connected with the Institute to learn more about these specific private sponsorship programs and attend some of our discussions on them, there's also the ability to do that through this link as well. And please feel free to share with those in your community you think might be interested in staying connected with us as we continue to promote and talk about the opportunities to really support new arrivals in this community. So with that, I'll go ahead and pause and see if there's any questions that popped up. No, thank you, Carlos, for putting the link in the chat. If you do click the link, you'll see at the top the link to the various federal pages that discuss these programs that I mentioned here today. Thank you very much. And with that, I'll kick it back over to Array.
Yeah, thank you very much, Blake. We're all looking forward to this new development, which I think is would be a significant change in the way that we've ordinarily done things, but hopefully something that we can embrace as a community and explore the opportunities, tap into the experience that the organization has had over the years, and ensure that we continue to position St. Louis as welcoming as we all want it to be. The next item on our agenda has to do with the Anna E. Crosslin Center for Multicultural Excellence. And we want to make sure that everybody is staying tuned for upcoming developments with the center. We have been working on the launch of the center. I want to make sure that I have Barbara. Yes, Barbara, I have you. We have the director of the center here, Barbara. So Barbara, if you want to share some updates on this.
Yes, I'd be delighted. Good afternoon, everyone. We are launching some pretty exciting events, and as Ari said, stay tuned. One of the things that we ask you to do is to think about what multiculturalism means to you. And if you have a couple of sentences, please share them with me at that email. And as he said, stay tuned.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Especially the stakeholders here, our community stakeholders, you're going to be advised, but any feedback on this question is going to be helpful because we're capturing that and we're going to be using that as part of the conversations that we'll be having with the community. We are equally excited to introduce to you the new dimension of the Festival of Nations. And again, I want to make sure that I see Leanne here because I'm not seeing everybody.
Hey, Ari, I'm just going to step in for Leanne. Diana
Okay,
here.
Diane. Okay, Diana, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Super excited to see all of you and meet you all. My name is Diana Sussman-Tockstein, and I am one of the new events partnership managers here at the Institute. And I'm just going to take over and show you guys some of the new exciting things we've been working on when it comes to the festival branding. So as you can see here, this is our new logo that we've been working hard on, and we finalized. We're starting to present to all of our partners and stakeholders. You can go to the next slide.
Which I think is the thing. Yeah.
And this is super exciting as well. We've been working hard behind the scenes to create a video that really encapsulates the entire feel of the festival. So I'll stop talking so we can watch it. It's about a minute long.
Show the sound.
We do not have the sound on the video. I think we have to share sound for it to YouTube for everyone to get the video. So I don't know whether it's from. Okay, we don't have the sound on the video, so we're going to. We don't have the sound on the video, so we're going to skip the video and we'll come back to it when we fix that. Okay, so we'll go on to the next slide and we'll come back to that when we fix the sound.
Awesome, thank you. So we'll hopefully have that video up and running. It's very powerful and really motivates people all about the feel of the festival. But right now we're going to talk about the value statement and just in general, how this new rebranding is aligning with our core values as an organization and just as a festival in general. So we've decided that one of the ways that we're breaking it down into why we exist and who we are. So we exist because we're a celebration of many nations, but we're all in one region here in St. Louis. And we know that when people of different cultures come together and we share music, food, art, and traditions, we really get to know each other on a very deep level. And that creates a spirit of unity where every culture is seen as unique and special, and no culture is truly foreign. I love that last part. And who we are, we're powered by the International Institute, and we know that the Festival of Nations is the biggest multicultural event of the region. It's attended by over 100,000 people every year over a span of 2 days, and it's really our way of publicly expressing our work and embracing multiculturalism in St. Louis. And just reinforces that truth that we know that what makes us different actually makes us richer and stronger. You can move on to the next slide. And our purpose statement. Go ahead and move forward. So we have these 3 fun little marks here. You'll see a globe, a smiley face, and a fingerprint, and those all stand for different things within our new branding. The globe, of course, stands for multiculturalism, knowing that we're a region made up of different people and cultures all around the globe. We all know what a globe stands for, but that's a great, exciting mark. The next one is identity with our fun little smiley face. So this is just talking about who we are and where we come from and who we associate with is really core to who we are as an individual and to our personal identity. And we know that, we understand that at the festival. So we're really trying to honor each other's individuality and really celebrate those differences that we may have between each other. And finally, impact. So we know that the festival really is great for local businesses, for our clients here, for just really anybody who attends the festival. And we know that we want to celebrate all those diverse people that come and perform as well, and all the fun entertainment that we get from that. So we're really just making sure that we're embracing all of the impact that we have and really knowing that this festival has a lot of value to the St. Louis community and is really impactful. And we're going to make it even more impactful this year, which is super exciting. And we really envision a future that's united and welcoming, rich and diverse. And everybody knows that St. Louis is the place if you want to get culture. Those are our 3 marks and a little ways to identify them. I'm not sure if there's a slide after that. Perfect. So if you want to look at any of this information yourself, we have launched our new website. It's festivenations.com that has all of this and more. It also has the video on there if you'd like to view it, hopefully with sound this time. We also have created an email. You can send us an email at any point, festivnations@IISTL, and all of our social media channels have the same tag. So we have Festive Nations for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we're also on TikTok now. So please give us a follow and promote us. We're going to be releasing our vendor and artist application forms very soon. If you know anybody who would be a great vendor, you can feel free to email us and let us know that as well.
Great. Thank you very much, Diane. Let's see whether we can have that video. And,
Right.
you know, yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing for a moment just so I can reallocate our, make sure that the share is working correctly. And my apologies, everyone, because I'm running the slideshow. I could hear the sound on mine and I didn't realize none of you could. So let's see.
Yeah, we're all really excited about the Festival of Nations, this dimension of the Festival of Nations. We hope that it brings more people out into the community, more people feel like they're seen, more people feel like belonging here. But we also hope that it actually serves to attract to people beyond region limits, so people can be driving in from different parts of the United States for this event, and we hope to continue to grow from here. With the experience that we had last year, we
I think everything's, I think I got it.
You
Okay.
ready?
I'll give it a try. Let me know if you can hear it this time.
Okay. Please stay tuned for more information. Follow us on all our social media platforms. This is going to be exciting for this community, and we're looking forward to that. We also have several upcoming events that we are equally excited about. We don't have videos for those, but at this point, I'm going to turn this over to Carlos. Carlos, will that be you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Oh,
Right.
John, we have John. Okay, I wasn't saying. John, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm just going to talk about some upcoming events that we're going to be having this week and next week. Tonight, actually, we will be hosting our next volunteer orientation. So what this is really going to cover is just the work that we do, the different programs that we have, how you can really support a refugee family, and overall opportunities to volunteer at the International Institute. So that will be tonight from 5:30 to 7:30 here in our Hall of Nations. So if you are available to make that, please just scan this QR code, or at this point, you can just show up and attend. And again, that'll be from 5:30 to 7:30 tonight. Next week, we are super excited. It is going to be Volunteer Appreciation Week. As everyone knows, we really rely on our volunteers and our community partners to really do the work that we do, to be as successful that we have been. And so we will be appreciating our volunteers, our community partners all throughout the week next week. And we really want to make it something special. So on Thursday, April the 20th from 5:30 to 7:30, we will be hosting a Volunteer Appreciation Night. This will be a night just to be able to network, get to see some new faces, some old faces, just talk about the work that we've accomplished throughout this last year. and also talk about some exciting up and coming opportunities to get really more engaged in volunteerism here at the Institute. So again, we are asking people to register just so we can get a good idea of how many people will be able to attend. But this will be next Thursday, 5:30 to 7:30, to again, really just show all the work that we've done together in this community. So yeah. Any questions with that? All right.
Seeing none, thank you very much, John. We're really grateful for the volunteers that help advance the mission of the organization. And we'll be looking forward to having as many of our volunteers come out for the Volunteer Appreciation Night. Next is community shout outs. I am going to turn this over to our Community Engagement Director, Kelly Moore.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy to be here on this sunny day and with you all over the computer. We have a lot of community shout outs today. So the big word tonight or today would be thank you. First, we want to say thank you to our wonderful judges, Greater St. Louis, Inc., the Cortex Innovation District, and Midwest Bank Center. They have been the community partners that have been helping us with the Afghan Entrepreneurship Grant. We're excited that the judges chose a winner. You'll see here on the screen, Hamdullah Hamdard. And that happened this last month. And then on May 5th is when we're going to be having the celebration ceremony. So please join us. Save the date for May 5th. Let's celebrate our winner, and thanks to the community for helping this become a reality. As you'll notice, this is round 2 of the competition. So there's more to come. So if you know any other Afghans in the future who would like to apply for this grant, send them to us as well. So thank you to those members. We also, this month, it's fun to do this because on a monthly basis, we get to see how much work we actually did. So this month we had a lot of community groups helping us. Narings Hall High School, Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, the Wilson School, the Rotary International District Youth Services, Lebanon Interact, DeSmet High School, and St. Margaret Mary Allocae. So all of these groups, you'll recognize many of them are younger adults, students. They have done various projects around the building. Anything to helping us clear out space, moving. This picture here is these gentlemen moved about 30 desks from one space to another. They also do other activities like interview practice, bus training, and a couple of these groups have done collection drives or have given us donations in terms of monetary support. So we cannot do this work without including all of you into the work. So I want to say thank you to all of these groups. It's been fun, and I look forward to next month. Spring happens to be sort of our busy month in terms of school groups and community groups coming out. So we can always use help with spring cleaning. So thank you for those groups who have come, and spread the word if you have other groups that want to come. This past month, we also had some information sessions and also some community partners helping us learn about Narcan and how we can be on the lookout for those individuals who may need to use, who may need to have that product. I want to thank Prevent Ed and also Mo Network for training us and helping staff be prepared if we shall need this product in the future. So that's staff training. It's also being prepared as service providers. And we now at the Institute have this capability to help those in need who may need it. So thank you, Prevent Ed and Mo Network. This one is amazing. I think you guys have all been on these calls with me for the last 2 years, and we have been very excited about Metro partnering with us because now we have a schedule of where we can help individuals navigate our Metro system. I think you might remember in previous calls that we always are looking for public transportation assistance. Well, now we've got Metro on board and they come to us regularly, helping us train individuals using the Metro system. It says this month, one client who participated in the training was able to gain knowledge and confidence to successfully use public transport to attend her first job in the United States. So some of us may think that riding the Metro is very easy, while others of our people in our new communities might be not so thinking that it's easy. So Metro Transit, we're so excited for this partnership, and we welcome still more community members to help us with this fun and sort of easy volunteer opportunity. They had sent some pictures out through our teams internally, and everybody who was on the training was smiling and pictures were being taken, and it was a really joyful day to see the pictures and have people smiling about, basically they were on a little field trip and learning at the same time. So I think we all can say that we like learning in a fun atmosphere, and this definitely was fun. Like I almost wish I was on the trip with them. So thank you, Metro. MasterCard, they came to us and delivered interview practice for about 15 individuals. You'll see here the diversity of who they've been practicing with. Anyone from Ukraine, Afghanistan, Haiti, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. We also have interview workshops on a regular basis as well. It's 2 times a month on Fridays. So you'll see here, we are still looking for people to help with this coming, oh, this is in 2 days. Yes, this Friday, April 14th. So actually it's every Friday now that I'm reading this. Sorry, I thought it was every other Friday. This is a really great opportunity for groups to have one-on-one contact with the people we serve, and also kind of show them, we really get to showcase to the groups what we do here on a regular basis. So thank you, MasterCard, for helping us this past month. I'm also very excited to talk about our bazaar. So this launched in March, right? I think it was March. I feel like we've been talking about having this opportunity for a while. So we're very pleased to have a bazaar here at the International Institute. It is currently running twice a month, so every other Friday. You'll see the dates here coming up, April 14th, 28th, May 12th, and the 26th. If you would like to help out, we have a consistent group of volunteers who are there for us, but we also, many hands make light work, right? So this is where we are serving families on a regular basis to provide healthy and like other needed items, such as laundry detergent, hygiene items, and things that help us all during the week. You'll see the numbers are pretty amazing. In total, we've served 210 families, equaling to about 979 individuals. And we see this program growing at the International Institute. May 12th is going to be a big day. We have the St. Louis Metro Market mobile bus, and Operation Food Search Lunches is going to be there as well. So if you really want to come to one of these events, I suggest coming May 12th. It's going to be boisterous and fun, and we're going to celebrate our partners, including the Metro Market and Operation Food Search. So again, we couldn't do it without our community involvement and the community partners such as yourselves. So thank you for those partnerships. Volunteering, you know, the more we grow, the more volunteer opportunities we have, right? So here is a list of different volunteer opportunities that currently exist. We have new Americans that need transportation assistance, especially some of our maybe elderly or medical cases that just may not be able to take the Metro bus to their doctor's appointment. And for other various reasons, sometimes it's nicer to go with an individual to an appointment. The next bullet point would also be driving assistance. So we have some of our new Americans, the elderly clients, and especially we would like to offer them opportunities to come to the International Institute to attend English classes. So that would just be basically going to this individual's house, picking them up and taking them to the Institute, and then returning them back to their house. And then again, the bus buddy program, there we go. Especially now it's kind of fun to do this because the weather's nice and the sun is shining, hopefully, and you get a little tour of St. Louis. But all of these positions are posted on our website. If you have any questions or are unsure of certain things, please reach out to John or myself and we can talk it out about what matches your desires. Next slide. Opportunities for support. So Give STL Day is coming up. That is 1 month away, May 10th. I'm always amazed at the St. Louis community and how much we can show up to support the operations and community groups that are in this region. We've been doing this for a few years, and in the last couple of years, from my memory, I feel like it's usually the animal shelters that win out the most support. So I'm going to challenge us to really, let's beat out the animal shelters. Let's try to support immigrants and refugees with a bang. And it says here, donations are open. So if you're feeling like donating today and helping us prove to St. Louis that our mission is worthwhile, please donate, or please spread the word about Give STL Day, May 10th. As we resettle more individuals, our in-kind donation needs are constantly changing. So right now we're really looking for twin blankets and also twin sheet sets. Laundry detergent is a need that exists pretty much throughout the year. Shower curtain rods, cookware sets, and stock pots. If you have any extra good materials, like any larger stock pots or larger pots and pans, some of our larger families would appreciate those. So electric tea kettles, and then of course size 1 and 2 diapers are also needed. And then we are, two years ago, we decided to come up with the initiative of giving all new families cell phones, mobile phones. So we are continuing partnerships in the community to try to make that a reality for all of our families continuing forward. So if you think technology is, we all need technology nowadays. Everything's on our phones, on our earbuds, on our iPads. We are making it a reality that all of our new families are at least attaining one phone as they arrive here. So help us continue that reality. I just got word as well that instead of size 1 and 2 diapers, we also need size 4 and 5. So as noted, grocery gift cards and Visa gift cards are always appreciated and used for various things like emergency needs or medical needs, or items that maybe new Americans don't have the resources for. So okay, there's lots of ways to support. You can volunteer, you can go to our youth programming, be a part of our leadership team, or donate. So hopefully everybody on the call today is doing one or part of one of these things. We really do appreciate your support. We're excited about our collaborations and partnerships. Thank you for being on the call. Thank you for learning about our updates and our fun and exciting upcoming events. And I hope to see you soon. As always, we'll end with all of our social media posts, Facebook, Twitter, and what's the other one on there? I don't know, but all right, you can take it from here. Instagram. It's Instagram. You can tell you guys that I don't use the social media. So there we go. Find us at all of those links and come to us and visit us in person too. Take it away, Ray.
And we'll be working hard to ensure that we set those up for you, Kelly. And well, thank you all for everybody who participated in the presentations today. A lot happening in the community, a lot of support that we're getting from the community, and we're only able to, in most cases, provide this extra support because of that. The community stands with us in this. We are I think in our next month we will be talking about the launch of the partnership with T-Mobile that we had piloted with the Afghans, and now we're expanding that to every new arrival that comes into our community, or any of our clients will be able to benefit from this hugely discounted mobile telephone service in a partnership with T-Mobile. All of these are just ways in which we're enhancing the welcoming experience for our new arrivals. So thank you so much for being here. I know we have some time, a few minutes. I don't know whether there's any question, and if there is a question in the chat that I haven't taken, but if seeing not John, I see you have a comment there. Are you responding to any?
Yes, I just wanted to highlight Jack and Claudia. They are volunteers who have been helping us in the donation room. And one big thing that they've noticed that we are in desperate need of, as we're having quite an influx of new arrivals coming into the city, is we are also short in pillows, twin sheets, skillets, large stock pots, and soon to be toilet paper. So if you guys can just put that ask out there into the community, it'd be much appreciated. Just because, again, we are currently experiencing a large influx, but of course, just expect that to continue. So those are definitely much needed items that we can use some support on getting here at the Institute.
Thank you very much, John, and thanks to Jack and Claudia. They are mainstays here at the International Institute. They've been working significantly to help with the volunteer work in our storage room here. So thank you very much for that. At this point, if there are no other questions, Ariel, did you have something to add with reference to that? I heard somebody, I thought it was you, Ariel, but apparently not.
Betsy Cohen had posted a question in the chat about the Albanian arrival, the Afghans arriving from Albania. So just in case Ariel wanted to speak to that for the whole group.
Can you read out the question, please? I'm trying.
Sure. Betsy had just said, could you say more about the Albanian Afghans arriving?
Oh, yes,
So,
Ariel.
I replied in the chat to everybody, I thought, regarding the Albanian Afghans. I know originally that we had thought that the Afghans in Albania would come in large groups, like 30 or 40 a month. However, that has since changed. Likely we will see smaller groups of Afghans from Albania coming throughout the rest of this year. They're currently in processing and their IOM flights are being scheduled. So we're not going to get like a bulk of Albanian Afghans like we had originally thought earlier in the year. So every month, I mean, it's always hard to predict. You know, I could tell you that we might get 10 a month today, and then tomorrow, all of a sudden, I get booked for 25 Albanian Afghans. So it's really hard to put a number on it. But the takeaway is that they're more than likely come in smaller numbers throughout the rest of this year through IOM, and we'll just keep you updated.
Great, thank you very much, Ariel. Again, once more, I thank everyone for being here today. I hope that the information shared here was valuable. Please reach out to us if you have any questions through our info email that was shared on the last slide. But we just always grateful for your time and your continuous support. Have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll be back 1 month from now with even more exciting updates. Thank you.